Hey, y'all, Flobo Boyce here with that hashtag show. Just hanging with someone who's just filthy. Let's talk about Tom Lawlor, man. Going out here doing the dang thing with an illustrious career, but you're not done yet. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, you're right. I'm not nearly done. I've only been doing this now for like 16 years since I made my debut, and I'm basically just getting started. That's the way I look at it.
Man. I can't imagine someone who just devotes their life to getting beat up and beating people up. You know, that balance is way above my pay grade, sir.
Yeah. Well, the goal is to try not to get beat up, right?
Like, right.
Oh, you get punched in the head for a living. It's like, no. The goal is not to get punched in the head for a living. Unfortunately, like, unless you're one of the top, 2% in the world, you're going to get beat up. Unless you're John Jones, you're going to get punched in the head. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, you end up looking like this. Kind of rough, but comes with the territory, I guess.
No, it's all good, man. You're an athlete and a half. I was actually trolling your Instagram today, and those workout plans, I'm kind of jealous. How do you keep your body in shape all the time between fights and stuff?
I got a home gym. That's it, man. I was lucky before the pandemic. I was stockpiling equipment left and right, and then once it went down, gyms shut down. A lot of people didn't keep their motivation up because they didn't have sets of weights. But I mean, I've spent I don't know, probably $5,000-$6,000 on equipment for my garage at this point. And I use $500 worth of it, but a whole set of kettlebells, weights, everything. My wife does some personal training too. So, we get our money back out of it. So.
I was so inspired. I went out and got one of my own. It's the 40-pounder.
Oh, yeah, look at that
Turkish lifts. You know what I'm saying?
Don't start off with juggling.
Right, because you get one mistake, just one.
Start with the Green Lantern in the back.
Right, yeah, pound and a half, sitting there doing it. Let's talk about New Japan. New Japan Strong out there holding the title, doing the damn thing. You're on top of the food chain. Now, listen, I know everyone has their own opinions of what New Japan's trying to do, but what's your opinion? What's been your experience so far being on that brand?
For me, it's been awesome. New Japan is one of the top pro wrestling companies in the world, but when you look at it as far as the top competitors go, I think this is where the best professional wrestling action, happens, is in the New Japan ring. And being able to get in there and mix it up with guys that have not only been on the main roster in Japan, but also been over here, doing work in the US has been awesome for me. And I'm not overseas. I don't know what the reaction is over there, but I vanity search myself on Twitter every once in a while, and it seems like I've been able to reach kind of a new audience overseas in the Japanese market. So that's awesome to be able to get new fans or even new people that hate me.
Right. I knew haters counts, right? That people care about you at some level. But I understand it's a brand that's growing. I mean, I don't want to say it's a spin-off or an offshoot, but it definitely has its own flavor that's a little different. I mean, what's been any kind of pressure to somehow aspire to New Japan or be your own thing? What's been your approach going into this?
The way I look at it is kind of very similar to how, WWE has NXT. I look at, New Japan Strong as kind of the equivalent to that for New Japan. We're in unfortunately for some people and fortunately for others, travel overseas has been kind of put on the back burner over the past couple of years. And if that was the case, maybe New Japan Strong wouldn't be getting if that wasn't the case, then maybe New Japan Strong wouldn't be getting the talent that it has. Maybe the Jay Whites, the Ishiis, the Tanahashis, those guys wouldn't be over here. Maybe they would. I don't know. But, what it's given is an opportunity for guys like myself. I'll put over the rest of Team Filthy. I'll put over, I'll put over the West Coast Wrecking Crew, JR Kratos, Danny Limelight. I'll even put over Chris Dickinson, who was part of Team Filthy before, but these are guys who weren't in the New Japan ring previously. And there's a lot of guys on New Japan Strong that are like that have, taken the opportunity and definitely bettered themselves because of it. And I think that, the champ, the Strong Openweight Champion, that's proof. I'm one of those guys. So it's been awesome for me.
Yeah, I mean, you are a legit badass. But let's talk about a challenge. November 15th in Riverside, California. You're putting that title on the line against Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rosser, a unique competitor, how strong and how fast he is. Do you have a game plan? Can you share a game plan? Or is it something that is totally proprietary? What's the game plan going in?
I'm 1-0 against Fred Rosser in singles competition. So I'll tell you the game plan is just like it was then. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to beat him up, and I'm going to submit him. You talked about looking at my workouts on Instagram earlier. Go check the days on that because it's not every day, right? There's 1 or 2 rest days in their week so that I can recover and then I can prepare myself for the upcoming challenges. Fred Rosser needs to take a day off, right? He's worried about putting the work in every single day and all that, but he needs to be worried about November 15th. He doesn't need to be worried about what he's doing today. He doesn't need to be worried about what he's doing tomorrow. He doesn't need to be worried about what he's doing the day before. He needs to be worried about the 15th. That is the day that I'm showing up. That's the day that I'm going to be at my best. And that's the day that he needs to bring his A game and not leave it on the floor up until that time, not leave it on one of these other days that he claims he's busting his ass. Listen, everybody talks about how hard they work. I guarantee you that guy hasn't worked harder than I have over the past 20 years. He thinks he's the only one out there trying to win. Hell no, I'm trying to win too, right? I've been busting my ass just as much, if not more than he has. The proof is in the gold that's around my waist. I don't know what else to say.
The disrespect. I mean, like, he's no slouch. Fred Rosser isn't gonna. He's not gonna slink himself in there and beg for a victory. He's gonna push you to the limit. Is he not? Is he not gonna make you test you to see how you can somehow come up on top on this particular match next week?
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job of pushing me to the limit last year, and I came out on top, right?
Yeah.
And now what's happened? The limit that I was at, I've raised that limit as well. You know, he's not the only one that's made strides over the past year. It's not like this is a linear battle. He's just climbing up and I'm staying stagnant. No, I've gotten better at a bigger rate than he has. My talents have exponentially increased while he's just going at the same rate, right? This is the same Fred Rosser that we've seen for the past, 10, 15 years. I don't see a different guy out there. All right. Wow. I don't see him making the improvements that I have. He can claim he's a different person that he was before, that he feels more comfortable and now he's a better competitor. What about the people who've been true to themselves the whole time? Huh? What about those people? How come they don't get any respect? Right?
Wow. Well, assuming that this goes in your favor, I don't want to make any spoiler alert because how you're doing the whole spoiler alert here that you're going to somehow take down Fred Rosser like he's a nobody. but who's next?
Listen, a lot of guys go out there and, like Fred Rosser talks about pretending to be something that he wasn't in the past.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm glad that, he feels more comfortable now. I'm glad he feels like that he's a better version of himself now. But what about the people who've been true to themselves? Like I said, I didn't act like somebody else. I've been doing the same shit for 20 years. It just so happens that now I'm better at it than I was before. Okay. Yeah. How come people like that don't get any credit? Right.
People want the crown you currently hold, man. I know that it's kind of out of your hands, but if you had a laundry list of people you want to run through while being a champ, and now's the time. Put everyone on notice.
People go, oh man, we got this champion in New Japan. Look at, you've got Shingo Takagi, right? Oh, Will Ospreay, he's walking around with a belt too. Okada, right? He's carrying around the old IWGP title that Kota Ibushi retired. Tons of great champions, right? They're all awesome. But they're not the first and only champion of the title that they have. I am. I'm the longest reigning singles champion in New Japan. All right. Wow. I'm the one that's undefeated with the title. There's no controversy about who the strong openweight champion is. Is there? No, there's not whatsoever. Everybody knows who the top dog is. You can't say the same thing for that IWGP belt.
Yo, you spitting facts. I can't lie for you at all.
I'm not here, going to Japan would be great, but I'm not here to go to Japan. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm here to beat those guys. I'm here to be the top champion in New Japan.
So let's talk about the landscape of wrestling. It's shifting, it's changing. Companies that were on top for a long time seem to be, a little bit different these days. What's been your thoughts, your opinion about the Forbidden Door, and where does New Japan Strong fit in that hierarchy now, if there is a hierarchy?
Well, I mean, when you look at the worldwide landscape, I mean, of course, there's hierarchies depending on where you are in certain parts of the globe. At first, I didn't catch much AEW. Obviously, I'm very familiar with the WWE product just because it's been around forever and it's been, the main thing in the US. But it's like, for the products themselves, I think competition's great. Now, with the recent releases and that sort of thing, I kind of wonder about the different business reasonings behind certain decisions. Are these really being done in a way which gives people, like wrestlers, more opportunities to make a living, maybe in the short term, but then what happens once everybody's out on the free market all at once? Is that really better for the business, or is it kind of like playing the stock market, and you win a bunch at once and then you end up losing it? Is this bad for wrestling that you have these kind of like investments willing to be made? I don't think you can say that it's been bad, the competition, obviously, because there's more guys getting jobs, even if there's less guys keeping those jobs. It seems like there are more opportunities. So, overall, I think it's been awesome for the wrestling business. The fact that we're even sitting here talking about a Forbidden Door or all these different places that have to interact and coexist with each other is a good thing. Before it was just a WWE dominated landscape. Now you got to wonder, like, okay, Impact and AEW had a relationship. Now that's kind of seemed like it's ended. Is something else going to happen? Is there going to be, another hot angle maybe between those two? Is there going to be something else with another company? Is there going to be another shift? Ring of Honor is gone. MLW and NWA are out there, and something could happen. And with the right backing, one of those companies could get, pushed into the forefront more than it is. So, one of the benefits, you talk about New Japan Strong, is that New Japan, I mean, it's been around since 1972. I don't think it's going anywhere right now, so you don't have to look at it kind of in the same breath that you do, even as like an ROH has proven, New Japan's here for the long haul. And there's been a long history in New Japan of guys going on learning excursions, going to different places throughout the globe and wrestling, whether it's Mexico, Europe, or here in the US. And the best place for those, wrestlers, the young wrestlers from Japan, to do their learning is on New Japan Strong.
Yeah, and it's so, and New Japan Strong is kind of like, you're right, almost like an Ultimate Universe, a nice onboard for people like ourselves that may be interested in New Japan Classic, but are not as accessible to it. So to be able to see what is going on the Strong side, so it's pretty cool. But we talk
like it's Chavo, Japan Senior.
Right, like Chavo Classic. I love it. Yeah. So we talked about, you were a fan for a long time of the product, and I know this is kind of an odd question, but I'm a host of a podcast called MackMania, and we talk about the Mount Rushmore wrestlers. Do you have that? Do you believe in that? And if so, who would be on your Mount Rushmore?
I could give you a Mount Rushmore, but it would be different depending on what kind of style of wrestling we're even talking about. Obviously, because of my
yours.
I'm highly biased towards martial arts fighters. Like, hold on, do you have a good view of these guys behind me or no?
Oh,
because one, if I could point right there,
let's get you the solo right here. Okay,
right, Kazushi Sakuraba right there. He's going on the list. I don't know if people call him a professional wrestler or an MMA fighter. Either one. He's going on the list.
Yeah.
Right there.
Bam.
Since we're in that same vein, I mean, Antonio Inoki.
Oh, the legend.
Yeah. I've been trying to get my chin to be as big as his for years. but it hasn't grown that large. I'm going to keep trying, but
Yeah.
you got to put them up there if you're a combat sports guy like I am. Who else? Let's see. As far as being one of the top in-ring guys,
Yeah.
probably the top technician of all time, Kiyoshi Tamura.
Okay. Yeah.
Another figure up there. And then hold on, I'm going to go grab this one.
Oh, the anticipation's building here. I love it.
The final man on that Mount Rushmore.
The fourth man.
It's sap time.
Whoa! I already had an action figure. That's sick. So just I know you're like a war machine, man, and you do so much with the instrument. But as a fat kid and as a reformed fat kid, I got a question. What is your favorite cheat meal? I need to know when it's okay to rip loose. Are you a pizza guy? Are you cupcakes? What's the deal?
I'm a cheeseburger guy.
Okay, where you go?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's even a cheat meal because I eat them like every day. The thing I try to stay away from the most that I really love is like pancakes, breakfast food, French toast, stuff like that. Like, I'll eat that like once a month, maybe. You know what I mean? Because it ruins my day. I mean, it makes my day phenomenal, but at the same time, that's it. That's my activity for the day. So.
That's good to know. I'm a cheeseburger guy too. Like I have the whole like scoring card. Like there's fast food and pub stuff. I just want to make sure that I just know what's going on.
Burger and Farmer Boys are not fast food, I would say, but
Farmer Boys, I love it. And then of course, because since you are heading into the ring next week, November 15th against Fred Rosser in Riverside, California. Do you put on music to get in the mood, or you don't need that? You're just like totally above that.
Honestly, backstage things are usually so hectic. Because this is something I've thought about. Like I'm leaving the hotel and I go, do I bring my headphones? Do I leave them? And the times that I brought them, I never use them. There's just too much going on backstage for me to sit down and relax. I'm pretty like I don't know if I'm high strung, but I think I am. So it's hard for me to sit still and just kind of relax and listen to music when there's 500 people running around. It takes me like an hour to warm up anyways. So
yeah.
Are
you like a stretcher? Or you just do like drills? Or are you like that? Do you stretch or do drills? Like how do you warm up?
Jump around, throw punches.
My man.
Yeah, just get ready for a fight. Grab some guys. You know what I mean?
Oh man, collar and elbow. So I'm so glad you were able to spend some time with me today. New Japan Stronger. Now I need you to put a promo on there. Put the whole show over, baby. I'm giving a solo screen. Make people know to see you next week at Riverside, California. Take on Fred Rosser.
Well, first I'm going to put over New Japan Battle in the Valley, which is happening November 13th, 2 days before that, where Team Filthy is going to take on Team Fred, and we're going to be leaving the victors 5-on-5, but only 5 men are leaving, and it's going to be Team Filthy on the 13th. And on the 15th, if old Fred can make it there after the beating on the 13th in Riverside, it's going to be for the New Japan Strong Openweight Champion. Your reigning, defending, undefeated champion, Filthy Tom Lawlor, is going to defend that title against Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rosser, in a rematch from the 2020 New Japan Strong Match of the Year as voted by the fans. Now, this year, I'm not setting out to have any Match of the Year contender. I'm not trying to go 5 stars with Fred Rosser. I'm going to beat Fred Rosser down so that this is the last time I have to deal with somebody coming and talking to me and telling me how great Fred Rosser is now. Look at what Fred Rosser's done, how far he's come over the past few years. Like I said, I've been here that whole time, and I've been busting my ass, and I've been beating ass as well. He hasn't done enough to catch up in that time to take that belt off me. And on the 15th, everyone is going to see what a real champion in New Japan looks like.
Oh, New Japan Strong. I got chills. Can't wait to see it. Riverside, California. You are in for a treat. I'm going to be there. I'll be cheering you on because, like you, I'm filthy too. Respect. This has been the Hashtag Show. I'm Flobo Boyce. Until next time.